All right, so today we're actually looking at the Lumionix Lamda. And before we go any further, this is a review prototype, not a retail product as of yet. So this video is really just a first look at kind of the concept and how this product actually works so far. So the Lambda is built for mobile filmmakers, and it combines a few, I think, useful things into one device. A USB hub, HDMI, an NVMe storage slot, and it actually has a 6,000 milliamp hour battery built into it. So I'm testing this with an iPhone, so everything I'm saying here is based on iPhone use, and I'm not sure how it works on Android right now. So I'm not even going to guess because, again, this is a preview unit. So the main idea here is pretty simple. Make your phone setup more useful for, I'd say, serious video work without having to rely on a bunch of separate accessories that you and I may have laying around. And for the right creator, I think this may make a lot of sense. So once you start shooting, more seriously on your phone, you quickly run into some needs. Big one is more storage, more battery, better connectivity, and just an overall cleaner setup. And that's where I think this Lambda, this mobile filmmaker accessory, kind of is interesting. And the standout feature for me is the NVMe slot, especially if you're using pro camera apps, let's say like Blackmagic Camera, or on an iPhone, something like Final Cut Camera. Because if this works the way I'd want it to, it could let you record ProRes or other high quality footage straight to this drive instead of filling up your phone's internal storage, which makes having to buy a new phone because you've run out of storage not something you need to do. And I think that's a big advantage for creators shooting larger files or those that are just shooting longer sessions. But there's also an important thing to know, and that's just because it says NVMe slot right there does not mean every NVMe drive will work. And just so you know, I tried a 2280 NVMe and it didn't work. It's just too big. So based on the size of the slot, it actually looks like this may be designed for a smaller drive, possibly something like the 2230 series. But I'm only saying that based on what I can physically see when I crack this open. And I have not actually seen an official compatibility list from them. So for now, I'm definitely going to say not to assume that your existing NVMe drives that you have kind of floating around may work on this. Mine did not. And if you're considering this, make sure that you verify what size and type of drive this actually does support, because I don't know. And that's one of the biggest practical things I think I ran into. And, it definitely matters. Now, it has things like HDMI, which is also a nice feature because that could help you with external monitoring if you want to set up to a monitor or to an extra display. It has a USB hub, and that completely also makes sense because if you want a cleaner way to actually be able to connect all your accessories. And the other feature that I really like is it has a built-in 6,000 milliamp hour battery. And that's going to be very useful for those that are doing longer shoots, since video work can drain, let's say, an iPhone very quickly. Now, before we get into my thoughts on this product, let's just take a look at what comes in the box. And this is the box. Yes, like I said, USB hub, HDMI, NVMe slot, 6,000 milliamp battery, review prototype. Whole bunch of little cool things there, right? You got his monitor hooked into it, very cool. ProRes RAW, so you have that ability to shoot on Apple ProRes if you're using, again, programs like Blackmagic. USB hub, right? Whole bunch of stuff that comes into it. They have released some firmware updates already, which is great. Now, this is kind of where it comes in. Again, I've taken this out and I've actually gone out and played with it a little bit, so this isn't just me saying stuff without actually using it. But if I grab my phone over here, we'll just put this off to the side. This is kind of the stack of things it comes with, and this is the case, right, that comes in that box. So you're going to get a whole bunch of different like HDMI connectors, HDMI to USB, USB-C to USB-C, kind of all of the adapters that you kind of require to charge this, as well as, like I said, to have it connect into your actual camera, your phone. Comes with a little hardware quick manual, very cool. More cables that they give you. I guess, you know, it really all depends on, you know, what you're trying to connect this. It has a little MagSafe bracket here, so you can actually connect this and have some other stuff connected to it, etc., etc. Like it's got, I didn't even open this one, you know, because it just snaps onto the back so easily. But I think it also has some rings, again, for things like Android, right? So yeah, so there's a little magnetic phone clamp. So for instance, you have an Android phone, you can clamp your Android phone in here. So this is example, here's an Android phone, right? I could connect this on here. And now, of course, now I have that ability to have this snap on, yes, to my Android phone. Now, as you can see, depending on how big your phone is, this actually gets fairly large. So I've had done reviews on phone grips before, and I will say, you know, it's smaller, as well as there's a little magnetic one. If you don't want to use the clip, you can just have a magnetic ring that attaches to it. So they give you more than enough cables and accessories and whatnots to be able to make sure everything is going to function with the phone that you have. Anyways, here's my phone. Look, I broke it the other day. It's just the screen protector, so it's okay. Anyways, as you can see here, this is a tripod slot right there. You do have like another one there if you need to. So a lot of places for mounting. You have a little cold shoe adapter right there. You're gonna have your trigger button, you like your little zoom button here. Now, again, this is early, so I do have to say things like this. You can tell it's got way more. I would say way more flex in it than it should. Right? It feels, it doesn't feel quite right. There's way too much movement in that whole thing. That's a concern for me. This button here, same kind of thing. I'd like to see it a little more better, I guess. Right? So this we can take off because I have an iPhone. Now, there is a couple little ports on here. This is the port that you're going to use for connecting to your phone. They do have, I believe, another one in here that is for charging, I believe. I can't even remember now. Maybe it's the same one. Anyways, this connects here. Yes, you can see your cameras are nice and out there and available. This has a nice little bend to it. So you just stick that in, click. Yes, all set up really nice. And then, oh yeah, here's your USB here. So these are going to be for like charging plus your other accessories, right? There's your little USB hub that's right there, you know, and your HDMI out and all that kind of stuff. So basically you just turn this on. So there's a power button right here and you can see the screen pop up. This actually came up, said it's starting to charge. You do get a little bit of a charge here, which is good. I don't have a lot of battery in here anymore because I have been using it, but you know, you have the ability to tap through this, right? You get your Bluetooth. Simple thing is here, if I have my camera, you guys will, it's just right here, right? Click. It takes a picture. Yeehaw, right? So very cool. You can go in again and play around with different settings. So this is going to be, actually, hopefully you'll be able to see it here, right? I have my ability to zoom, which I love. I love that I have a nice smooth zoom on here, right? So you can actually fairly slow, except for when it, you know, it does have to switch between lenses, and that's not a controller issue. That's an iPhone issue, you know. So you can go through here. Plus, you can go into video mode, same kind of thing. Click to start your recording. Click to turn it off, and it has a really nice grip. Like it's a really deep grip, which I like. So if you're holding this up here, like you really do get your arms out, right? You get your arms out really nice, which is, you can really keep this like super nice and steady having that grip, you know. So if I came here and recorded, click, and you can see there's me holding this, right? The camera, but I can just have a nice shot across. Way more control than if I was just holding my phone on its own, for sure. And it feels a lot more, actually wider than, let's say, if I had a traditional camera, but it gives you a very similar like holding, but you're even wider, which again, means that you're going to be even more stable. So you do have all kinds of little features on here which open up once you have different accessories plugged in, or once you have an NVMe drive plugged into this. So just to kind of show you that part of it, so if I actually tap this button here, you can see power phone charge, right, on, because you may not want it on, right? So you can kind of go through this and be like, no, turn it off. I don't want it to be to charge my phone, right? Here's your Bluetooth, phone charge, Bluetooth, there's on, yeah. Intervalometer on, so if you want to do that, it'll take shots. You'll see it, right? I have it set to 1 second, and it's just taking a photo every 1 second, right? It just does it all by itself. That's cool. You know, turn that off. I don't want that. Next one here, flash sync, so you can set up your flash sync. What do you have here? Enter USB DFU mode. So again, if you actually have the hard drive inside here, you can set this up for USB mode. Are you sure? I'm going to say no. Firmware update is on. Excellent. Factory reset if you want, and device info. So a couple things, and if you, that's just done with this button, and it's the same button that you just kind of hold to turn it off. But the issue, and I want to say issue, but again, this is early release or early model here, is that if you take this screw out, and you can tell by the size, right? The actual NVMe slot is kind of on an angle here, and there's just no way you're getting a full-size NVMe slot or NVMe drive in here. It just doesn't have the size for it. I thought maybe it would come in here, but again, it can't, because that's where the MagSafe is. So it has to mount this way, which means, again, a 2280 is not going to fit in here. 2230 should be able to fit, and I think that's kind of what it's designed for. But I don't know, because I don't know the official specs. Anyways, let's talk about my thoughts after I've had a chance to use this for a couple of weeks now. So I think as a concept, I think all of this makes a lot of sense. And it really does feel like something that was designed for creators, pro users who already use their phones more seriously and now just want a cleaner, more capable setup. But even though that all sounds great, what really matters is how this device executes on that. You know, does the storage actually work reliably? Do the actual ports on here work the way that you and I actually want them to? And is this device going to actually improve your workflow? And lastly, does it feel polished enough by the time the final version comes out? And again, this is a pre-release version. So I think that's going to be the real story. And they did say that they were going to send me a retail version when it was ready. So if these guys get the compatibility and the workflow right, this could actually be a very useful tool for those that create or just film with their smartphone. But if not, I still think it's an interesting idea. So who is this for? Well, I think this is really going to be for creators who are serious about mobile video, especially people using, let's say, again, an iPhone with the pro camera apps, those that want higher quality recording workflows. But I do think this is probably going to be not for a fair bit of people. And those are probably going to be casual users who just want to shoot quick clips. And they really don't have any need for external storage. They have no need for HDMI out or any of that added accessories that some pro users may require. So my simple take right now, I think, is simple. That the Lambda is a very smart idea with real potential. And I like the direction. I like the feature set. And I can see why this will be a very appealing, more serious phone-based video workflow. But again, it's still early. And the biggest real world issue that I came into was that NVMe slot compatibility. So for now, I treat this as a very promising early product. But again, it's not a final product, so this isn't a final verdict. So overall, the Lambda looks promising for serious mobile creators. But because, again, this is still a prototype, the final compatibility, workflow are all going to be what really matters with a product like this. Anyways, I will leave links down below so you guys can check this out. And again, this is a review prototype. We will hopefully be getting a full release version when it becomes available. Links down below. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next video.